All right, and we are back live with Week 11 Friday Night Lines. Coming off a little bit of a rough week. I went 3-2 in college football last week, 1-4 in the NFL last week. But if like I said last week, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So we're back here. We're back to win some money. I'm an up and down type of guy. So if I went 1-4 last week in the NFL, I'm gonna go probably 4-1 or 5-0 in the NFL this week. So you can pretty much lock it into tailing me. Introduction: I'm DJ Primo, Loaded Box DJ, co-host of the Loaded Box podcast. I've got my boy Pat on the ones and twos, always killing it, telling me what to do, making me look good, streaming this live on YouTube. That's what he does. Why don't you say hi to the people, Pat?
What's up, guys?
How's it going? Yes, I hope, Pat, I hope you're having a drink. Tonight, me and my wife are feeling a little spicy. We decided to get some Mexican. We get some carry out margaritas because fucking COVID quarantine shit. They just let you take your margaritas with you. So let's have a sip of margarita here. Tastes beautiful. Tastes wonderful. Are you drinking anything, Pat? Or are you just taking it easy right now before you let loose?
Ooh, a tall boy of Bud Light actually that I got last night. I went out with the missus and a few work friends, and on the way home, stopped off at Cumberland Farms, local convenience store out here, and got a few tall boys. So I had one left over in the fridge.
That reminds me of a line you said. So basically the leader of the Loaded Box, a co-founder Ben, and my co-host of Loaded Box podcast is a big Busch Light fan. And where we're from is a small town in Wisconsin, and we drink a lot of Busch Light there. I've gotten kind of out of that, but whenever I go back, I drink it. And he's always pushing you guys to buy Busch Light. And I remember one time you responded about, I don't know what we were talking about, earning money, and he said to get Busch Light, and you're like, you're really gonna make me take my hard earned money and buy Busch Light with it. And I laughed at that for some reason for like 30 minutes, just thinking about you walking up there with a 30 pack Busch Light because like Ben forced you to get it and just giving them like $20 and just depression. And I don't know why it just tickles my fancy because I just got this picture in my head and it's kind of true. Like you're gonna make me spend my hard-earned money that I worked for all fucking week to go get a 30 pack of Busch Light. It was great. It was great. It's a good story. I hope you didn't buy Busch Lights if you didn't want to do that. So, um,
I did not. I did not. It's almost like taxes. They should just have it automatically taken out of my check, and then just a 30 rack of Bush Light gets delivered, where it's not something I necessarily want to do,
right.
but it's just expected.
Exactly. Yeah, that's. I mean, right. It should be like your own. I should make a beer account, and it just automatically sweeps into that every other Friday when my paycheck comes in because I know that's what I'm going to spend money on this week. So I mean, yeah, that's a good idea. Tax yourself for beer. That's a genius idea. And then you always have money aside for it. I'm going to start doing that. That's a great idea. All right. All right. I'm glad the college slate looks 10 times better this year, Pat, this week, Pat. Last week, I fucking hated it. There was so many games canceled. It was just trash. It was horrible. It was poopy. And it's better this week. We've got a lot of good matchups. I was going through them. I was excited about a lot of games. Um, just excited to watch a lot of games. I'll be live betting. I'll be betting way more than what I'm going to give you, but these were just the five that stuck out to me. So I'll start with tomorrow since Saturday comes before Sunday, and then I'll go into Sunday in the NFL. So we're going to start with college football. We're going to go with my new bread and butter. We're going to go Cincinnati right away, right off the bat. -4.5. They're playing against one of the best offenses again. Which just the AAC is full of great offenses, and now they're playing against one of the best in UCF. I can't remember their quarterback's name. It's the lefty, but this guy he could wing it, and he's a good player, and that UCF offense can score. But Cincinnati, they just stop everybody. This defense is relentless. They don't stop. They don't have letdown games. They want to make the playoffs. They want to make the college football playoff this year, and the only way they're going to do it is by dominating games. So they're going to go up against UCF. Everybody's on the UCF side right now, thinking somebody's going to do it to Cincinnati. I'm not falling for that anymore. That Riddler, the quarterback is unbelievable. Their offense just kills you. They're death by a thousand cuts, and their defense just doesn't allow you to score. They get after you. They might be the best defense right now in college football. If you're Florida, if you're Alabama, if you're Clemson, this is a team that you don't want to face in a one-off game in a playoff. Man, these fuckers can get after it. So I think Cincinnati comes out here. Again, they're out to prove a point every single week. We deserve to be in this playoff. We're going to destroy every team in this conference that scores a ton of points. They'll win this game by a touchdown at least, I think. Number 2, I am a Wisconsin hater, right? I hate Wisconsin. I'm a knower. Like everybody knows me knows I hate Wisconsin with a passion, but I bet with my brain here. And they're going up against Northwestern, and Northwestern, they're undefeated right now, but this is not a good football team. Nebraska had multiple opportunities to score and take the lead against Northwestern 2 weeks ago when they played them. I thought Nebraska was the better football team. Northwestern has a decent defense, but they're just not good. They're not going to be able to hang with Wisconsin. Wisconsin got just a dominating game out of Michigan after coming off of 2 weeks off of their little COVID break they had. This is a game where everybody, again, I see everybody betting Northwestern, talking about Northwestern because their defense is good. They have a good secondary. You haven't gotten to see them to play a really good team. And Wisconsin's just going to come out. They're going to play good defense. I don't see how Northwestern scores in this game. I don't picture them scoring at all. Wisconsin's just going to run it down their throat and then play action them to death. It's not. I actually don't picture this being a very close game because this is a spot where Wisconsin fans get nervous and teams are betting, or Peep fans and Sharps are betting against Wisconsin. And that's when they come out and win those games by 20, 40 points. I'm not falling into that trap. I do it too many times. I like Wisconsin minus 7.5. Might be my favorite bet of the weekend. Number 3, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma over 59.5. If you don't bet the over in Bedlam, this game is just its notoriety is being over. It's just they score points. I know Oklahoma State's defense is good this year, but it's Bedlam. That's the only reason I have is Bedlam. That just sounds like a lot of points. Does it not just sound like a ton of points? Bedlam. It's Bedlam. I'm going to say it like it's 17 more times just because it sounds cool. You have to bet the over in Bedlam, 59.5. Smash that. It's fun. If you bet the under, then you're just a fucking loser. And I don't want to be friends with you. And I don't want to associate with you. So get the fuck off my stream. Ohio State, minus 28.5 versus Indiana. Indiana, again, having a good season. Their offense is good. But I've said it over and over again. This feels like a game where like, oh, everybody's like, Indiana, they feel like is the Cinderella team. They're going to come in and make it close. But Ohio State is like Ohio State in the Big Ten. They're just elite level Clemson, Alabama. And then it's like Wisconsin, Indiana, who else? And then nobody else. Everybody else sucks in the Big Ten. Down here, it's like it's a varsity versus an 8th grade team when it comes to the drop off between Ohio State and the rest of the Big Ten. They're going to crush this team. They're just going to come out and blow them out. And anytime I see a spread that's under 21, I love taking the team that's favored by under 21 because I just picture they're more than 21 points better than them. Like to me, it feels like a hit. Like this team's better, a 21 point better team. So they're going to win by 28, 35, 42 points. So I love betting the favorite in this spread. It scares people off because it's so big. I love betting. Once you get to 28, then I start to get nervous. 30, 32, then I back off. But if you give me 20.5, I'm always taking the favorite. Lastly, Kansas State let me down last week. I'm going back with Kansas State. Iowa State has an excellent defense, but their offense struggles to move the ball. I think Kansas State, coming off a week off, can keep this. I think it was 2 weeks ago they played. Can keep this game close. They're just a team I go back to. It's like if a team continues to win me games as dogs, I'm just going to go back to it. I think I've only lost one game betting on Kansas State, so I'm going to continue to do that. They make plays on special teams. They're very opportunistic on defense, and they can move the ball a little bit. So I like Kansas State in a low-scoring game, keeping it close in that affair. Those are my picks for college football Saturday. If anybody else has any questions or any thoughts or wants my thoughts on any other college football games, feel free to ask as we move on. For now, I'm going to jump into the NFL games. I'm going to do all mine, then we'll get to Pats like I always do. We're going to start off again. Packers let me down, but the Packers are coming, plus 1.5 at the Colts. I was less confident, but it's my thing. I have to bet the Packers every week because they're my favorite team, and they continually cover the spread. This week, I'm confident. I'm very confident. They've got Devontae. They've got Lazard. They got Aaron Jones. That secondary for the Colts isn't that good. They haven't played real good offenses this year. And the fact that Vegas ever makes the Packers a dog on the road in a dome has shown they haven't paid attention to where the Packers are at the best. Aaron Rodgers is going to be on his A game. The defense was missing Jair Alexander. Obviously, they played the Jaguars, and that kind of sucks that they had to keep it that close, but they won. They were missing their top two cornerbacks. They are a finesse defense, but we're playing against Philip Rivers. For you fantasy fans of JT, especially you, Pat, I want you to chime in here. If JT does not have a good game against the Colts, he's just not going to have a good game the rest of the year. Like, you could just drop him from your fantasy team. How are you feeling about that?
Yes, I think it's hilarious that my fiance ordered a JT jersey for me for my birthday in early September, and I couldn't wait to get it. And after week, I've gotten a little more scared. But I know that the week that the jersey was gonna come was gonna be his breakout week, and this just happens to be it. I got it yesterday, and I can just feel it Sunday. I'm going to have it on. He's going to be getting my energy, and it's going to happen.
It's like a superstition thing. I'm that way with my Rodgers jersey. I've noticed like every game. So the two losses the Packers have this year, I didn't wear my Aaron Rodgers jersey. Or no, I wore it one game, and the other game I wore it with a long sleeve shirt. And then it's really rare that I pay attention to this. But last week against the Jaguars, I had the same long sleeve shirt on, and at halftime, I took it off, or the third quarter sometime. We ended up winning that game, obviously. It's the Jaguars, so I shouldn't have had to do that. But I can fucking tell you on Sunday, I'm wearing the Packers, the Aaron Rodgers jersey, no long sleeve, and it's going to be a dominating victory. So I'm superstitious that way at all as well. But I love the Packers in this matchup. This is my lock of the week. It might be my lock of the year. I don't think you're ever going to be worried about the Packers in this game. Not a single. I'll put this bet in now, and then thank me afterwards. I am upping my bet on this game. Up your bet on this game. Give me all the credit. Give me all the blame. But I'm telling you right now, the Packers win this game easily. Game number 2, Bengals +2 at Washington FC, because they're basically a soccer team, and don't belong in the NFL. So they're Washington FC. Joe Burrow, he got his ass kicked last week. I thought he was going to get his ass kicked last week because the offensive line is atrocious. Steelers' best part of their game is the pass rush. The weather was pretty crappy, and I felt bad for him. But when you get it to face a team now that's about equal in skill level, but Joe Burrow is by far the best player on the field and clearly is a future star quarterback, is a star right now as a quarterback in the NFL. Joey covers is what we're calling him now. He covers games. He just covers consistently. I think they win this game. I love getting them +2 in this game here. Alex Smith isn't going to put up 400 yards and whatever he did last week. But I think this is a fun game. So I'm going to jump right into the next bet that I have. Bengals Washington over. Bengals defense is also atrocious, but as long as Joe Burrow is getting the ball out of his hands against this Washington defense with the targets and weapons he has, I know Joe Mixon's out, but I think this game is going to be much higher scoring than what people's going to believe because Joe Burrow, they were playing in shitty weather last week. Let's not forget that. That weather's crap. It was not made to throw the ball in. Joe Burrow can play. Okay, he can play against anybody in this league. He can throw the ball. They're going to score points, and obviously Washington will be able to score a little bit on this team. Over 46.5, love it. Hammer that bet. I also took a little hint from Warren Sharp on a podcast I was listening to this morning, and so I'm kind of stealing that from him, but then I fell in love with it. I talked about it, so let's see if that works. Bengals, Washington FC, over 46.5. Game number 4, everybody's on the Ravens. Everybody's on the Ravens. They're desperate. They don't want to go to losing streak. They're gonna bounce back. I think the Ravens are who they are, who they look like. Like Lamar Jackson can't throw. He's limited in his game. You slow down his run. The wide receivers, I was talking about this on the Loaded Box podcast the other day, and again, here comes a fantasy football topic. If you did you draft Hollywood Brown, Pat?
I did not. I thought that he could have upside because I really expected Lamar to have to throw more, but I've always been kind of sketched out about Lamar's arm, and if anyone stopped him from running that, I think that his upside would be severely capped, which severely caps Andrews and Marquise Brown's upside, so it was really scary to draft.
Mark Andrews is the only guy like draftable as a wide receiver in this offense. It's just pass catcher in this offense. And Hollywood Brown's the biggest disappointment. And I don't even think it's his fault. If you're him, you've got to be the most disappointed guy in the world. The Titans are the team in the playoffs who exposed the Ravens. I'm not going to think that I know their defense is really bad, but Vrabel's the one who figured out Lamar Jackson for everybody else. So why am I going to go against him in this case? I might sprinkle the money line here, put a little money on the Titans on the money line, but I will take 6.5 points because that's a lot of points. I will take the Titans plus 6.5. I love that in this game. Lamar Jackson, my favorite thing about Lamar Jackson or about guys when you can tell they're not good, or you can tell they're not going to be good, but then they have like a good game. And, like Kirk Cousins comes out and goes, "You like that?" And now everybody can make fun of him because he just fucking sucks. And just in general is the thing that Lamar Jackson said last year was he had like a good passing game against the Dolphins, I think in like week 1 where he threw for like 6 touchdowns. And he's like, just a running back, because everybody's calling a running back that can throw. And he's like, "Oh, just a running back that can throw." And this year you can see he's a running back that throws the ball a little bit. And it's proven the guy is not a good thrower of the ball. I don't think he's going to last long in the NFL as a starter. I think he'll be in the game in here for a while, in the NFL for a while, but he's going to end up as a backup in the future. And it's not going to be a long-term starter. People fall in love with these exciting guys and they draft them super high and in fantasy football in the next year, because everybody drafted Lamar Jackson pretty. Yeah. So people drafted him pretty high last year. And they're going to do the same thing with Kyler Murray. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to draft your consistent guys like Aaron Rodgers or I don't know. I'm blanking on it, but Aaron Rodgers is one of the guys. Patrick Mahomes is a consistent guy. Also Wilson. I'm not going to fall in love with the flashy. My guy, Pat, is telling me we have a question. So let's hear the question.
Yes, this gentleman, Carlos. What's up, Carlos? Thanks for stopping by.
Not at the table, Carlos.
He's got Mahomes, Chubb, Carson, Hopkins, Thomas, Michael Thomas, and Allen Robinson. Should he trade Michael Thomas and Chris Carson or Allen Robinson for someone better at wide receiver or running back? I truly think that Michael Thomas, even though he is extremely good, he had an outlier season last year, and I think that when it comes to alpha wide receivers like Michael Thomas and Allen Robinson, they're really a dying breed because so many wide receiver 2s are stepping up each and every year, and it looks like wide receiver draft classes are just getting better and better. So if you could trade both of those and package them for a workhorse running back that has a high floor, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. I was going to say, similar to that, I think you're not going to get a lot for Allen Robinson at this point because that's the worst fucking offense. Free Allen Robinson. That's the worst fucking offense in the history of football. Literally the history of football. I'd rather have the 1960s Bears offense right now.
Hey, I don't know. Crazy stat, though. Did you know that the Chicago Bears this year have thrown more than any other team in the league? They have the highest amount of pass attempts in the NFL.
And they should stop doing whatever they're doing and just do the opposite. Maybe QB sneak it every fucking play. They could gain a few more yards instead of running screen plays on 3rd and 5 that go backwards. I don't want anything to do with Allen Robinson. I mean, I think you're going to get a lot for Michael Thomas because people are going to be super high on him. And I agree with Pat. I would highly consider trading him. I actually saw somebody this week trade Michael Thomas for Chase Claypool straight up. And I don't know how I feel about that. I feel really weird about it. I'm so conflicted about it.
Honestly, I would have needed was that seasonal or is that dynasty?
No, it was just a redraft.
Oh, well, I would probably do that with this Drew Brees injury. Honestly, I probably would have done that too.
I know, and I think that's why I'm so conflicted, but it's like it's still Michael Thomas, and it's like I don't know. It's really weird. It's weird to think about because he's been such a elite wide receiver. But thanks for the question, Carlos. I don't believe that's his real name. Next, last game I'm going is the Cowboys +7 at the Vikings. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't like betting on the NFC East, but when you see a statistic like the worst start against the spread, I think they're 0-10 or 0-9 against the spread, broke the record for the worst start against the spread in the history of the NFL since they've been doing against the spread bets or lines or Vegas or whatever existed. I have to be on the. Eventually, they have to cover the spread, right? Andy Dalton should be back, coming fresh off of COVID and a concussion. I don't. What's that experience like? Like double headache? I don't. What's that? What is that like to have COVID and a concussion? Might as well get them out of the way both at the same time, though. Might as well just fucking knock them out. Screw it. But their defense has been playing better. Andy Dalton will be able to make this offense move a little bit better than the quarterbacks, obviously, that they had in the past. They have too many weapons not to be able to score points. I think the Vikings, they look good against the Bears, but everybody, I mean, my high school varsity football team that went to state would have looked good against the Bears right now. So my son's trying to join the Friday Night Lions video tonight. Um, I think they're going to keep this close. I think they might even think about winning this game against the Vikings. Whoa, I didn't say that. They can keep it within 7 points, though. But I just want to be I'm talking right now. They just want to be on the.
I want to tell you something.
What?
You're into something.
Oh, great. So anyways, my dog may have gotten sprayed by a skunk, and that's my picks. What do you got for us, Pat?
Honestly, I see this line going down, but I don't see why I shouldn't take Vegas since our consensus has New Orleans -3 against Atlanta right now. So I just got to take Atlanta plus 3.5 right now.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. I saw it -5 at the beginning. It seemed like a trick without Drew Brees. And now with Taysom Hill, I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he's going to look unnatural. I think Jameis Winston ends up in this game. He just looks unnatural when he's trying to throw the ball, and I don't like that. I think he just naturally wants to run. So I think you're going to see him like not see anybody open. He's just going to naturally just take off, and it's going to end up not being what that offense does. It's not going to work. I don't know. I just think you should start Jameis in this situation. I don't like it at all. Yeah. All right. That's all I got here on week 11. The whole fucking sun screaming in my ear, dog maybe get sprayed by a skunk. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to drink a margarita and fucking eat some fish tacos, if you know what I'm saying, tonight. And and I'm dealing with just fucking chaos. So join me next week 12. We're looking for a winning week. I will take, Venmos, at DJ-Primo for all the winnings you're I like the tips for all the winnings that you'll have. I look forward to the money and buying some beers after winning you money. We will see you next week.